Hello everyone! Today I want to continue my English videos about Ielts section 1. Maybe you can remember we were talking about some important tips and important clues in my previous video in Ielts section 1. And of course I want to add some new information for you and then some new example for you how you can speak in section 1 confidently and comfortably. And also, of course, correctly. In section 1, as you can remember from the previous videos, and also most probably you are looking for a lot of information on the internet about this situation. That's why I'm sure that if you are preparing, if you are getting prepared for the IELTS exam, you most probably know a lot of information about section 1. But of course, like other teachers, I just want to give my ideas and then I want to share with you so that you can make good and more effective sentences. Okay, friends, at the moment I really want to give you some tips about section 1 and then I'm just going to give an example and we are going to make an atmosphere, an environment, how you can answer and then what kind of sentences you can make and what kind of opening sentences you can structure when you are starting your speaking one. For example, as you can remember, in section 1, you are not supposed to make longer sentences and you are not supposed to make complicated sentences in English. However, it doesn't mean that you are not going to answer exact answer of the question and direct answer of the question. I mean, in other words, when you are giving your answers, when you are giving your replies, you are supposed to make attractive sentences and then you are supposed to make some natural sentences when you are starting, because please don't forget it is not a formal examination in section 1. I'm just talking about section 1 now. And when you are asked a question about your life, about your past, about your current life, about your future life, it doesn't mean that they are waiting for really good and longer and complicated sentences like an essay sentence. But you are supposed to show your English in a natural way. Because you will imagine that you are sitting in a garden with your friends, maybe you are sitting in a cafe and maybe you are sitting in a conference hall and then it's a kind of some break time and then you are having a chat with your friends. Even in those circumstances, you are not making sentences with 1 or 2 words. All the time, you are structuring your sentences with good English and with good vocabulary especially. And don't forget that, please, this section is the easiest and really the most important part maybe to show your English, because in other parts you will be asked much more difficult questions as I told you before. But here you should feel relaxed and then you should feel yourself more comfortable than the other parts. So maybe it is the best option to make good and effective sentences for your speaking section, okay? Just imagine that the examiner is asking you, what was your favorite subject when you were in school? In this question, you should be really careful. What is the tense and then what they are looking for, what kind of information they are looking for, and what was the lesson. Look, when you see this kind of sentence, it doesn't have to get an answer with a simple past tense all the time. Please don't feel yourself when you ask a question in simple past tense. You are not supposed to give an answer all the time in simple past tense. Of course, you are going to mention about your past life because the questions itself is asking you about your past. But when you are opening your sentences, when you are starting your sentences, You can start without present simple or with future tense. It doesn't matter. Just imagine that this is the kind of question, and the questions itself is asking you about your past experience, but it doesn't mean that you have to start with the past tense. For example, you can say like this. In the beginning, before giving my answer, I just want to show and I just want to really emphasize that there is no correct answer in this section 1, because for everybody and for everyone in the world, the style of the answers, the style of the speaking and the speech all the time can have some differences, and it can differentiate from each other and from the others and from other people's, because it's a kind of some life experience and daily life speaking, so it can't be a correct answer, and it must be an answer, but this answer should be, how can I say, should be enriched, should be shining, and it should be really different from others. And when you are giving your answers, you are supposed to show your English and your vocabulary. If you have a chance, why don't you use it? Because in this exam, you are going to be given chances to show your English, to show your vocabulary, and section 1 is the easiest part. That's why you should benefit from it, okay? Okay, let's go back to the question. What was your favorite subject when you were in high school, when you were in school, when you were in elementary school? It doesn't matter about your education life. You may start like this. Frankly speaking, I can't define myself as a hardworking student. However, if I need to talk about my favorite subject when I was in high school, I can say that it was history. Look, before giving my answer, history, how many sentences and what kind of sentences I have done. Can you see? This is the important thing. This is the important issue in section 1. When you are giving your answer, or before you give your exact answer of the question, you are supposed to make really effective but also natural sentences in English. And then you will see that you will be getting a lot of how can I say, good and high marks. Okay, my dears, and for today's lesson, I just wanted to give you a small tip, and then in the following lesson, I'm going to talk about giving some other tips and examples for you. But that's all from me today. Hope to see you in another lesson.